Hey YouTube, how's it going? I just want to show you guys how to make reptile plants pretty cheap. I'm going to show you how to make them for about $8 or so. This is one I already made to show you guys how they look. They come out pretty nice and they're really simple to make, so I figured I'd show you guys so you could save a few bucks. So I know plants like the Exoterra ones and other such are pretty expensive. And for this one, you just need a few household tools. I had to go out and buy a hot glue gun. I didn't have one. $2 and change at Walmart, plus the glue sticks for like another $2. So the first time you do it, it'll be a little more money if you don't have a hot glue gun. And I also had to go buy a plier. I'm living on my own now, and I didn't have any pliers that work very well for snapping thin metal wire. I used to just borrow my dad's. My toolkits didn't really have any, so now I have one. And that cost me like $7. So if you have those two items, these plants will be really cheap for you. Pretty much all it's made out of is you've got the fake plant, a foam base, which I've got one uncovered right here. I picked them up at Hobby Lobby. If you don't have a Hobby Lobby in your state, you can probably find them at any other household like hobby store. And sometimes maybe even Walmart might have it. I didn't check there. And then the other thing I bought was I went to the local reptile store and got some sphagnum moss. Oops, my bad. I got some sphagnum moss for, I think it was like $8 or so. So pretty much, if you're going to make a lot of them, it'll be pretty cheap for you. The plants I got all at Hobby Lobby, if I didn't say that too, they were all 50% off. Hobby Lobby really frequently puts their plants on sale. That's where I got a lot of the vines and things for my water dragon's cage. And so I frequently check there for plants because these were $2.99 originally each, and at 50% off I spent $1.50. I don't think you can really beat that. Maybe the dollar store will have some, but these are pretty nice plants. I'll show you the other two I got. So that was just like a long tall grass, and then I got two different ferns. They're pretty much the same fern. This one's just a lot greener, and this one's a lot darker. So I'm probably going to put one in each corner. You guys haven't seen the new water dragon's cage. I bought a custom one. I'll show you that in another video. But the way it works on the bottom, so you got a rectangle. Her water takes up the one corner, and I'm going to put 3 plants in the other 3 corners. Or 1 plant in each corner, sorry. Just to kind of cover some ground space, make it look nice. The sphagnum moss is optional. You don't have to really do that if you want to save a few extra bucks. I just did it because I didn't like the look of just the foam with the plant sticking out of it. You can hide it underneath the soil, whatever you're using, but because I'm using bigger wood bark, I figured it was nice just to have the sphagnum moss. So pretty much, show you real quick, just going to show you right now how to build one. It's really simple. So first, you take your fake plant, and on the bottoms here you can see there's a little nub right there, and it goes down probably another 2 inches or so from where the base is right now. If you can't tell, I cut it, and the camera's not wanting to focus. Let's see if I can get closer. It doesn't want to focus. I'm sorry, I'm using my crappy camera. I'm saving up for a new camera. And but you can see kind of that shiny piece. This has metal wiring. There's a bunch of small metal wires inside here, and they're pretty small. I don't know what gauge they are, but pretty much decide how tall you want your plant, and then you got to take your pliers and cut it down to size. The way I did it, I wanted my plant to sit at the base of the stems, so I didn't want any of the this base showing, and so I just cut it down to right about there. So the next part of the video, I'll show you how to put together a complete plant. Okay, so after you've got all your parts assembled and you've got your plants cut to size, I put them in just empty glasses just to hold their shape. If you leave them on the ground, the plants will get all warped. You can kind of see this one's a little bit warped. But once you figure out how you want your plant to look, when you adjust all the wires, all you're going to do is, by the way, you got to clean these too. I shouldn't have to say that, but just in case anyone didn't know. So pretty much decide where you want it to sit and how deep. I want it just right in the middle. and then just put it right in. Now, you don't have to use hot glue, because this is pretty sturdy right now, but I didn't want to trust it, so I just do a pilot hole, and then I take the hot glue gun, and I put some glue down the hole. And just to make sure that nothing's going to come out. The only downside to these foam inserts is they're kind of fragile. So if you're going to be making these, you probably don't want to put them in any terrestrial reptiles tank, whether it be a snake or a lizard, because they'll probably, you can see on the side here, I damaged it just a little bit just getting it out of the box, or out of the plastic wrap. So this is more for arboreal animals that aren't going to be messing with these at all. These are just really for looks. So you can do, like I've seen other people who use the log bits and stuff like that. If you want something that's going to be crawling all over it, definitely use one of those bases instead. But you can use the same method. The only difference would be you probably have to drill a hole versus just putting a hole in. Oh yeah, sorry, I just have to readjust the plant real quick. Okay. So now that I have it all readjusted for the way I want, next I'm going to take my sphagnum moss, well, terrarium moss, I don't know exactly what type of moss it is. I just got Zoomed terrarium moss. And I'm just going to put it all around the base with hot glue. And probably the first couple of weeks you're going to have sphagnum moss or just moss fall off it, just because you'll put a nice big layer. I like to go in little sections of glue, but not all the moss is going to stick to it. Probably just the top or the bottom layer of moss. Eventually it'll thin out. Then again though, this isn't really a masterpiece of art. It's just to hide it. You can also put the moss on before the plant if you choose, but I found it easier to hide the stem, for me at least, after. I need more glue. If you've never used any of these glue sticks before, in the hot glue gun, they run out really quick. And they push from the rear, so once your stick gets too short, it won't come out anymore. Pretty much too, cost-wise, so like I told you, cost me $1.50 for the plant, $2 for the base, that's $3.50, and then the sphagnum moss costs $8. And if I'm making 3 plants, that means, call it $2.75 a plant, around-ish. If you divide it into 3, should be about that. I know it's a slightly specific other number, but if you count that close enough, so that's, what is that, for about $7 and change. And if you're making more plants, it's even cheaper. Or if you have an animal that you're buying the moss already for. And you don't just have to use moss, you can be creative and use rocks too. That would be kind of cool actually. You can go, I know, I think it's Zoomed that sells the rocks for turtle turtle exhibits to put at the bottom of the water. And those would be kind of cool to put on top. It'd make it really heavy, but it probably lasts a lot longer than the moss. It's really, the moss will work fine, and it's not going to go really bad on you. The only difference will eventually lose its color. But I'm not too worried, because it's going to be hidden anyway. Be aware though, this moss does get everywhere. Okay, there we go. So, just the camera. On a tripod. So there you go. In about 3 or so minutes, I was able to make another plant. To save $10, that's definitely worth it to me, or if you just want a project. And then you can customize them. You don't have to use the whole block. You can cut it in half if you don't use as much soil as I do. I use a Sterilite container for my water dragon's water, so it's probably about 5 inches tall, or 6 inches maybe, so that's why I have such a big block. But that's all there is to it. Sorry, I'm really tired today. Just plants, foam, and moss. I've got one more here I'm going to make, and then in another video soon I'll show you guys her actual terrarium, or vivarium, whichever it is. Because there's going to be, right now she's in her permanent enclosure. I've had it for about 2 years, and now I'm going to do 2 more stages of renovating it for her. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope it was informative. Let me know if you have any other ideas that you guys like to do, or post up a video so other people can get ideas. Have a good one.